Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
I am that dude, Bodkins.
Yeah, DP lost it, deep. Yeah.
Right. Where he's wondering, he's like, I
Pat it up, Patty.
He won style, like no weight classes.
Yeah, basically, like I said, there's been a couple guys that are like,
It's ridiculous. No way. There's nobody else out there. He's your guy.
That's just not my mentality, bro.
Yeah. Leave the ladder down. That's my always like, hey, somebody helped you out. Why not help somebody else out? Return.
Give a big round of applause for the one and only Bodkins Show.
Or bringing Craig Counsell down the interstate in a move unexpected. I had people.
I'm going to repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter. Welcome to the Bodkins Show.
Good morning to everybody. Welcome to another great episode of the Bodkins Show, the weekly dump. I'm your host, of course, Bodkins. Man, good morning to you. Man, where do I start? I'm sitting there Friday, and maybe I was, had a little bit, I was on Cloud 35, and I just sent out a nice little tweet that said, yeah, I'm watching this Indiana-Notre Dame game. Indiana probably shouldn't have been there. And my own friend, Jim Behringer tweets back, there's going to be blowouts there. Let's not talk about records and blah, blah, blah. There was blowouts and this and this and this. And I was like, I really just want a good game. Like, can we get a good fucking game? And I waited, turned to the next day. That was Friday night. Saturday, turned on SMU, Penn State. Nope. Turned on who else was it? Texas and the Texas game. Nope, they blew them out. Turned on last night, was hoping Tennessee could get a good game. Nope, blowout. They were all fucking blowouts. Maybe 12 was too much. Maybe 12 was too much because there wasn't one good fucking game on. I get maybe having one blowout or maybe two, but every fucking game. Those was the most boring ass fucking uninterested college games. They weren't even good. There wasn't one game that was close, a one possession game. They were all blowouts. Maybe we should have just cut it in half, folks. 12 is too much. And now they're wanting to go to 14 next year. Sometimes more is bad. Sometimes to make it less is better. Now, 4 wasn't quite enough. I've been saying 6 or 8. I've said 8. The five teams, the 5, power conferences, the title winner, and then 3 wild cards. That was enough. Them games, Jesus. I mean, Tennessee didn't show up. Indiana gets blown out. SMU gets blown out. The games were absolute dog shit. I mean, I was looking forward to yesterday, sitting down. Oh, it's a nice Saturday. I finally don't really have to go anywhere. I don't have to do anything. Cleaned up the house in the morning. Hey, I'm going to sit on the couch. It's going to be a good football day. We even had the little Fury Usyk fight thrown in. But, man, I mean, 38-10, Penn State. 38-24, Texas. 42-17. 27-17. Like, these games weren't even close. Not one game was fucking close. Even the NFL games weren't great yesterday, but it was just a big disappointment. We hyped this thing up, and then it was just absolute disappointment. Maybe we had a theory in our head. It's like, having sex for the first time when you're a virgin. You think, like, this is going to be this great epic fucking thing, and then it's like, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Especially, I guess you have nothing to compare it to. But it was trash yesterday. Of course, joining me every Sunday morning, and maybe he has a different opinion, but it's my guy, the Yankee fan, Johnny Cruz. Johnny, what's up, my man?
What's going on, man? Good morning. Happy for another weekly dump. No, I don't disagree with you at all. Those games were horrible to watch yesterday. I mean, I couldn't even watch the entirety of those games because it was just so boring because they were such blowouts.
I don't know if that's sorry, John. I don't know if that's a hot take, Alan. Like, I think Alabama probably would have beaten those teams. You know what I mean? Could have beaten those teams. Like those games were fucking just absolute snooze fest.
Yeah, I'm completely with you on there. And it was, again, there was so much made of these matchups, and the committee trying to just make everything look good with some of these teams that included. And again, who can't nobody out there tell me that, you know what I'm saying, Cam Ward, a Heisman Trophy finalist, and Miami couldn't have given a better showing than Indiana, Clemson, or SMU.
Even Tennessee. Where the fuck? Like,
even Tennessee, right? All the hype with the SEC. And that's where the SEC and the Big Ten get so much hype that even teams that are, Indiana had a good season. But if you look at their actual record, you know what I'm saying, and who they played, you know what I'm saying, they played, did they beat any top 25 teams? And if they did, they were higher ranked or lower ranked top 25 teams. And again, it goes back to the whole preseason ranking, and you put in, rankings on teams that have it
like high up there in the preseason rankings.
Right. But I mean, some of them, you know what I'm saying, some of the teams were so high ranked to start off the season to where even if they did have a stumble, and there was a lot of teams with 2 losses in there, it still kept them high up there because of the off-season ranking. So I'm still glad that it's 12 teams because it opens up the field. But like one thing I will agree with Jim, what he said, it's not like college basketball where you're gonna have a lot of Cinderellas. You know what I'm saying? The best teams are gonna win. This is football. You know what I'm saying? So the bigger, stronger, tougher teams are going to win. But you were hoping for some more competitive.
I just wanted to get a game, Johnny. I don't care. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I really don't have a dog in the race. I don't.
Right. Yeah,
I didn't have a dog in the race whether it was Alabama or Miami got in. Like I really don't. I kind of was like Miami because of you. Like, you know what I mean? Like like for that reason, I guess. And I don't mind Cam Ward, but these games were just awful. Like you could turn it was the third quarter and you weren't going to miss anything.
Right. It was bad football. It was really bad quarterback play. And the teams that had the big trenches, and you know what I'm saying, they dominated the games. You know what I'm saying? Notre Dame, Penn State, Texas with those offensive lines. I mean, and even Ohio State, they completely dominated the other teams and stuff. So we just gotta hope that the next round is more competitive games. But this is where you kind of fall into like some of the teams that got byes. Like, Oregon is number 1 and undefeated, but
13.5-point favorite over Arizona State.
That's what I'm saying.
Ohio State, Oregon, surprisingly, Ohio State is a favorite at -1.5.
Right, and they've played already one time. That was the first game of the season where Oregon beat them. But again, you have teams that got to bye simply because they won their conference or whatever. Those teams are like
they're 10.5-point dogs to Penn State.
That's what I'm saying. So they need to reconfigure how they do the seeding, and honestly, just do it. 1 through 12. If you're gonna do these are the top 12 teams, then the 1, 2, 3, and 4 need to get the bye, regardless of conference. Whatever conference you won or whatever. But to give those teams a bye. And now they're probably going to get stomped out as well. It's just they're going to have to redo it. This is the first year where they've gone 12 teams, so they are going to. I think they probably will tweak some stuff, but I'm still glad it's 12 over 4, only because of the SEC and the Big Ten bias. You always saw the same fucking teams in the top 4 every year. You know what I'm saying?
12 is too many. Like I've been saying, I think 8.
Yeah. I mean, we both been saying for a while that it should have 8 would have been good. You know what I'm saying? But they went with 12. But again, they need to figure out the reseeding. You know what I'm saying? Put the top 4 teams to get the bye. Let the other 8 battle it out to then get to play the top 4 teams. But You know what I'm saying? Again, you mentioned the spreads already for Arizona State and Boise. Like
Georgia is the only team that got a bye yesterday that is
Right.
favored in your game.
And who's Georgia playing?
Notre Dame. They're a 1.5-point favorite.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's Georgia SEC. They've been a top team. They've won a national title recently.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So they're getting the benefit of the doubt. Now, if Notre Dame goes in there and smacks the shit out of Georgia, then what does that say about the SEC with all the hype that the SEC gets?
Yeah, Notre Dame looks good, but I mean, it was against Indiana, so let's not
Right. Yeah.
I also don't like this in the next round, and I think we've said this before. I think the first round bye team should get home field, and maybe that changes some of these spreads. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't need to watch them at a neutral site. I think the only game that should be at a neutral site is the national championship game. Like, why not?
Agree.
Why do we need I don't care that it's the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. I don't give a shit about it. Like, let's just play the game at Arizona. Texas travels to Arizona State and let's get it on. You know,
Right.
the Rose Bowl, I guess. I mean, the cool thing about the Rose Bowl, it is Ohio State and Oregon it used to be a Pac-12 team and a Big Ten team.
Right.
Now it's two Big Ten teams in the Rose Bowl, but still, like, we can get rid of it. Like, just Oregon has Ohio State has to travel to Oregon and let's get it on. Like,
I'm with you on that. I'm sure it's some bullshit that they, that they have to play these certain bowls. Yeah, money. They have to play these certain bowls on New Year's or whatever.
Yes.
So they want to keep it that way, but. I'm with you. They could have completely flipped it to where, not for nothing, but the first round could have been at neutral sites at all these bowls. If you have to have them, if you have to have these bowls, then those could have been the bowls. And then you let the teams that actually earned the bye, let them get a home game. You know what I'm saying? And then the national championship obviously goes to a neutral site or whatever, or even the semi. You know what I'm saying? Those two can be the top two bowl games. You know what I'm saying? But I'm with you. I think if you earn a fucking bye, you should be able to get a home game. You know what I'm saying? If anybody's gonna get a home game, it should be the ones that earned the damn bye, not the ones that, you know what I'm saying, were 5, 6, and 7, 5, 6, 7, and 8. But again, it's gonna have to be some tweaking to it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm with you, bro. I didn't have a dog in the fight. I was just hoping to watch some good games and shit. And you know what I'm saying? I had John here, and he's not much into college football, but I was like hyping it up and shit, telling him, yo, we got some good college football games, you know what I'm saying? And he was just like looking at me like, what the hell is this? This is, you know what I'm saying? It's boring as hell.
You could literally shut every game off by fucking halfway through the third
by
quarter.
halftime, you know what I'm saying? Middle of the third quarter, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, all we can hope for is for some better games in this next round, but it's the first year of the 12 teams. And again, I'm
14 next year.
Yeah, of course they are. You know what I'm saying? Eventually it'll be 16 and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just about money, so they're just gonna keep going up and up or whatever. But they're gonna have to find a way to like seed it better so that there's hopefully more competitive games going forward. Because again, just because you won your conference for you to get a bye and you're ranked, 10 or 11, but you get a bye, and the number 5 and 6 teams got to battle it out. Like it doesn't make sense to me the way they seeded it.
It shows you that doesn't make sense. Vegas doesn't think it makes sense, right? And maybe again because it's a neutral site, but like when Arizona State got the bye, and so technically they should have been the better team. But Texas is a 13.5-point favorite. Like that doesn't make any. You know what I mean? Like even the Vegas is saying y'all are fucking up because our spreads are going to show. Penn State 10.5 over Boise State, like on the road. You know what I mean? Like like everyone. Like I said, the only team that's got a bye that had a bias favorite is Georgia, and that's only 1.5.
Right. I mean, and if you look at the way the seedings were, I mean, it's almost like they set it up for certain teams to have a clearer path to get to the Final Four. You know what I'm saying? So right. I'm about to say, except for Oregon, who they seem to have screwed in the bracket that they put them in. But if you look at it, the way they set it up, you know what I'm saying? They set it up to where the top 4 teams could be like Ohio State, Notre Dame, Georgia, and you know what I'm saying, which is what they probably would have wanted if it was only 4 teams anyway. You know what I'm saying? So they could have done better matchups. Why didn't you have Notre Dame and Penn State go at it? You know what I'm saying? Why didn't you have Ohio State and Notre Dame go at it? You know what I'm saying? Like, they could have done better matchups that way. This whole, oh, well, Indiana and Notre Dame is nice because it's an in-state right. I don't give a fuck about no in-state shit. I want to see good games.
Do that shit during the regular season.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't want to put those big matchups up against each other. They tried to make us think, oh, these are really good matchups here. You know what I'm saying? Tennessee and Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to go into Ohio State and win, especially a night game. You know what I'm saying? The atmosphere. And yeah, Tennessee had a good season or whatever, but I would have rather seen Notre Dame try to go up in there and beat them. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Like, they could have made the matchups better, but they tried to. It's a fucking TV show, bro. So they tried to put
the TV. If it was a TV show,
well, the whole
I canceled after the first.
The whole like pageantry that they do about selecting the shit is a fucking TV show, and they try to make it all hyped up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But if they actually wanted good games, they could have made some better matchups in that first round. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have had Indiana going up against Tennessee or some shit like that, and like, again, had Notre Dame go to Penn State or Notre Dame go against Ohio State. But again, they did it like that so that they can get to this round here. There's a very good chance Notre Dame wins, Texas wins, Ohio State wins, and Georgia wins, and then your top four are the four that they probably would have picked for if it was only 4 teams. You know what I'm saying? So they like lined them up to be able to get to that point anyway. And it's like, then you're defeating the purpose of expanding it to 12 if you're going to give them an easy pathway to get to the Final Four.
Yeah. I agree with Alan to get rid of the bowl games and make a 16-team tournament and other bowls become an NIT tournament. Yeah, I make it back.
Something like that. And again, I know that they have contracts with some of these bowls or whatever, but
it's not really just the bowls. It's the, you know what I mean? It's just the bowls too. They do, but most importantly, it's the fucking the sponsors who are paying.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. The sponsors and the TV contracts and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the money. You know what I'm saying? But if you put a better product out there and more competitive games out there, that's going to draw more eyeballs anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because I guarantee you, just like you said, the majority of the people tuned out after halftime or the third quarter. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't worth watching the whole game. It just wasn't entertaining football. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're a fan of those teams that won, it wasn't entertaining at all. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I tried.
The team that you won, you're like, we won this game. Like, I can move on with my Saturday.
But I tried to get a non-college football kid into it, and you know what I'm saying? It was disappointing. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just all blowouts. Yeah,
it was. It was all. It was. They were boring. Absolute fucking.
Yeah.
It's absolute boring. Johnny, let's shift to some MLB news real quick. First, I'd like to tease and peas to the family of Ricky Henderson, one of the greatest baseball players of all time, a man who owns stolen bases, most total bases, you name
most
it.
Runs scored.
Most runs scored. Yeah, you name it. His name is littered in the history books of baseball. But thoughts and prayers to Ricky Henderson's family as he passed away yesterday. And Ricky was one of the best guy. I caught the tail end of his career. I know you were a little bit older than me. He was a guy that you got to see in his prime.
Yeah, I got to watch him, you know what I'm saying, as a kid with some of the Yankee teams, and, you know, when he was in Oakland and stuff like that. And, like, he got on first base, and you knew it was a double, you know what I'm saying, if not a triple, because he was going to immediately steal second and probably steal third as well. And even when you knew he was going to steal the base, like, there was nothing you can do. He was just, like, his pivot step and his speed was just incredible. He had so much swag and stuff like that. Like, he was one of the originals with the swag, with the whole pulling of the jersey when he hit his home runs and stuff like that, and talking about himself in the third person. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ricky gonna have a good day today. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how he would talk and stuff like that. He was just so entertaining. So yeah, I'm with you. Thoughts and prayers to his fam. Rest in peace up there with Tony Gwynn and all the other you know what I'm saying, Hall of Fame, ball players that we lost at a young age. He was only 64, 65. that's still kind of young in my opinion, especially as I get older. I want to say that I'm pretty young.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he was a lot of fun to watch. Him with Dom Matt, you know what I'm saying? Like that was the only joy I had as a Yankee fan as a kid in the 80s was when he was on the team with Don Mattingly. So yeah, man, it was a sad day, you know what I'm saying, in that sense.
So two quick stories I found on the internet that I thought were entertaining. Because after somebody passes, you hear all these stories that come out. So this one says, legend has it. One time somebody quoted John 3:16 to Ricky Henderson. He said, Ricky don't want to hear about John hitting 3:16. Ricky's hitting 3:30. There's that one. And then I watched a video clip. I believe it was
Harold Reynolds.
Yeah, you saw the same thing. Harold finally, Ricky got hurt early in the season, and Harold Reynolds, broke or won the stolen base with like 60 stolen bases, and he said it's a phone call right after the season. 60 stolen bases. He said, "Hey, this is Ricky, 60 stolen bases. Ricky steal that by the All-Star break," and just hung up the phone. The very next season, Ricky had 60 by the All-Star break. So, I mean, you get those great stories, but Ricky was just one of a kind. And I think people forget how good he was. I mean, he played forever, and maybe that's part of the reason. But man, when he was in his prime, there was probably nobody better. Especially like you said, a single was for sure going to be a double for Ricky Henderson. So I wanted to get that out real quick. And your Yankees continue to make good moves, using that money that they were going to spend on Juan Soto. They went out and they made the trade for Cody Bellinger, my guy Cody Bellinger. We ship him for absolutely fucking dishwasher. So I'm hoping Jed takes a plan from your guy in New York and Cashman and uses that money from Cody and goes get some like a Corbin. If we go get Corbin Burns or this Japanese pitcher that's posted, I'm okay trading Cody Bellinger in this salary dump. But the Yankees get Cody Bellinger, and then they bring in Paul Goldschmidt as well to continue to solidify that lineup to battle a team. The Mets can have all the Juan Soto, but if they don't have nobody else in that lineup, how good are they? While the Yankees continue to add good players.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% on that. I really like what Cashman has done this offseason. I mean, obviously he had to pivot from not being able to sign Juan Soto, but like you said, all the money that would have gone to Juan Soto, it would have been hard to put a complete ball club around him and Judge, because we did have a lot of holes. And I love the way they pivoted. You know what I'm saying? One of their biggest problems last season was defense and base running, lack of athleticism, and they've answered that. You signed the top left-handed pitcher, and of course, once the Yankees sign him, then everybody comes out of the woodwork saying, "Oh, well, he's not really that good, and he's old or whatever." Mostly Met fans and Boston fans, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? Max Fried was the best left-handed pitcher available. You put him at the top of the rotation with Garrett Cole. You trade for one of the best closers, if not the best closers. And yes, I know Mets fans love to throw up that clip of Pete Alonso hitting that home run in the playoffs. That was one time. Even Mariano blew saves every once in a while. It's going to happen, but he's still one of the best closers. So they're solidifying the bullpen. They made a trade Friday night for Francisco Fernando Cruz, who's an older player, but he still has 4 years of eligibility, a bullpen arm. He's got one of the best splitters in all of baseball. His K rate is insane, 14.2, I think, per 9 innings. So they brought in arms in the bullpen that are strikeout pitchers, which is what we needed because we didn't have that last year. We got another starting pitcher, which we needed to solidify the pitching and defense. Cody Bellinger's a Gold Glove caliber defender. Paul Goldschmidt, I know he's a little bit on the older side, but he's a professional hitter. You know what I'm saying? Is he going to hit 35, 40 home runs? No, but he's going to bat 275, 280. Hit 20.
Right at this point, he's just a little bit better than Anthony Rizzo at this point in their
right. He'll probably hit 20 home runs, but he's going to play really good defense. He plays every day. You know what I'm saying? Again, a professional bat in that lineup that that stretches out the lineup even more. I like the signing. It's a 1-year contract, so you're not committed to him for too many years. So I like, all the different moves that he's making to make our team more athletic, better defensively. We still need to figure out what we're going to do at either second or third. If they sign a second baseman, Jazz Chisholm will play third. If they sign a third baseman, Jazz will go to second base. But ultimately, they've upgraded in a lot of different spots where if they would have signed Juan Soto, they would have had to go on the very cheap at all these other positions. So right now, I like this team and the way it's being constructed and built. I've always been pitching and defense type of person. Yes, home runs are nice, but I'd rather have a bunch of guys that make contact, can run the bases, can go from first to third, play good defense and pitch. That's usually what wins. And again, it was showcased in the World Series. We were horrible defensively. We were horrible running the bases, and the Dodgers exposed us on that. So he's hitting all those areas to improve the team. So I like what we've done, considering we missed out on Juan Soto. So the Mets can have the back page with Juan Soto. I don't give a fuck about the back page. I want my team to win, and I like the way that he's constructing this team so far. So I'm excited about it. I've always liked Paul Goldschmidt from afar. Yeah, he's not in his prime anymore, but again, he's still a professional at bat. He's Gold Glove caliber at first base, which is what you need. Especially with this type of pitching that hits, gets a lot of ground balls. You need a good first baseman, and he's definitely that. And again, it's a 1-year deal, so I'm good with it.
Yeah, like I said, he's probably just a smidge bit better than Anthony Rizzo at this point. Right. So you improved. I love, obviously, Riz will always be one of my favorite players.
Yeah, and not for nothing, man. I loved Rizzo too, and if it wasn't for fucking Fernando Tatis basically running into his neck on that one play, last year, the year before, I think he probably would have finished off that season. He was having a really good first half last year, not the 24, but 23. Yeah. So I think he still felt that this past year as well. You know what I'm saying? So he never truly got healthy. He has a history of
back injuries.
Right.
Like, it's not completely healthy.
So I don't think he ever truly recovered from that, and that kind of, was leading to his downfall. But again, you got Paul Goldschmidt, who, he's there every day. He averages 150 games a season. So he's going to be there. Again, Gold Glove caliber first base. Is he the same player he was a few years ago? No. But he's 2 years removed from an MVP. You know what I'm saying? And he's a professional hitter. Is he going to bat 320, hit 40 home? No, but he's going to give you a good at-bat every time, a good base runner. He stole some bases even at 37 years old. So good, smart baseball players is what we need. Good players. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yankee
he's
fans.
A good player. Like you said, he's a professional. Like he's
right. He's a professional, and that's one thing. Again, I've always said this, and Yankee fans can get mad at me, but the worst thing about being a Yankee fan is Yankee fans. You know what I'm saying? Because they are spoiled. They some of their thought process is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? They want an all-star at every position. They talk about, well, we should trade for this team's best player, and we'll just send them our 3 worst players. Like, they just think of some stupid shit. Like, what team is going to do that? You know what I'm saying? So you got to be smart about how you build your team. And I think Brian Cashman has done a good job of that. I think overall we're a better squad than we were that played in that World Series just a couple months ago.
Yeah, and real quick, some other baseball news. The Astros are now turning over, they're kind of turning over their roster. They bring in Christian Walker on a 3-year, $60 million deal, which pretty much ends the Alex Bregman talk. They're trying to make a trade for Nolan Arenado, but he said no, thank you, as a full no trade clause. Obviously, they already made the trade for Kyle Tucker. The Guardians, they can. I don't know really what they're doing. I'd like to get Sam's opinion on this, and I'll probably ask him tomorrow. Because it seems like they're just making moves. They traded Josh Naylor to the Arizona Diamondbacks, their first baseman, to replace Walker. They bring in Carlos Santana. It just seems like they're shifting a lot of players, like a team that was pretty good, I thought, last year. And it seems like they're shipping guys in and out, which I thought maybe they would just stay together and have a little bit more continuity.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by that too. I mean, I know, I think they got a young first baseman in their system that is trying to open up a spot for him. So that might be why they traded Josh Naylor and just signed Santana to the 1-year deal.
Yeah.
and I guess they got a second baseman as well. That's why, but they traded like a Gold Glove caliber second baseman. Just a few days ago, whatever. So I mean, they traded two of their better players, and I know, unfortunately, because of the way baseball is structured, some of these, lower revenue teams have to make moves like this or whatever. But a little surprising. I mean, Josh Naylor, even though, I mean, he's like a worse body version than John Kruk, but you know what I'm saying, the kid can rake. You know what I'm saying, the kid can hit. You know what I'm saying. And the sad thing is that if you look at him, he looks like he's 30-something years old. He's only 27. But again, obviously, he's completely out of shape or whatever. But he's going to go to Arizona. He's going to help Arizona out. And again, Carlos Santana is a professional hitter, switch hitter. He's somebody the Yankees were looking at.
With the Guardians too.
Yeah. Right. They're familiar with him, but again, they're all about pitching and defense or whatever. So that's why I was surprised about the second baseman that they traded, because he was Gold Glove caliber. But again, they're trying to make space for these young kids to come up. And that's the way the Guardians do it. But I'm not. They've been good every year these last several years, so I'm not going to put give them credit where credit is due. I don't understand some of the moves, but again, they know better than I do about their franchise. But it was a little surprising that because I don't think they got much for Josh Naylor either. You know what I'm saying?
So this was Naylor's. I'm just kind of reading it. Naylor's coming off. He'll be a free agent after the year, so maybe they just thought, hey, he's probably going to get the open market, and that's why they shifted him to the Diamondbacks. So
yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, because if they're not going to be able to re-sign him, then you might as well get something for him. And then they brought in somebody familiar that can hold it down for 1 year.
Yeah. And they said like the couple teams were in on Paul Goldschmidt, but once he went to the Yankees, that everybody had to
pivot.
Pivot. So.
Yeah, and just real quick on the Houston thing. I mean, because I honestly look at Houston more of a rival this last decade than Boston, to be quite honest, because Houston's been the one that's knocked us out in the playoffs the last several years. Because Yankee fans are all with their panties in a bind because we didn't sign Christian Walker. Yes, he's a Gold Glove first baseman. He's 34 years old for all the ones that are complaining that Goldschmidt is old. Homeboy ain't young, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he's a right-handed pull hitter, and we didn't want to lock down the first base spot for 3 years because we got a young first baseman coming up. There's rumors about Vlad Guerrero possibly next year, but I don't see that happening, to be quite honest. But if they did want to pursue him, they wouldn't have been able to because they would have locked this Christian Walker up. Plus, he had a qualifying offer. For those that don't know, if somebody has a qualifying offer and you sign them, you lose 2 draft picks. Yep. Some fans may be like, oh, you can't be worrying about draft picks. But yes, in baseball, you do, because you need to develop your farm system so that you can make trades and you can bring, develop players or whatever for your future. You can't always just think about now. And they are still thinking about now. They're putting together a good team for now and looking at the future. They didn't want to give up international money because they're going after that. The Japanese pitcher as well, Roki Suzuki, that you mentioned for your Cubs.
Yeah, we have him too. I'm sure.
Right. So you need that international money in order to make that signing. And if you sign somebody with a qualifying offer, you lose some of that money. So there's a lot more than just, you know what I'm saying, they didn't sign him because they were cheap. Like they always want to go to that Yankee fan. Oh, well, he's just being cheap. They're spending $300 million on their payroll. How the fuck are you gonna say they're cheap? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just again the ignorant, spoiled ass Yankee fans that don't know shit. Like you guys embarrass me as a Yankee fan. You know what I'm saying? Like it's frustrating. You know what I'm saying? I love the Yankees and I love the majority of the fans. But there's that group of Yankee fans that are just so irritating and embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? That it's just like, you don't know what you're talking about. Just be quiet and just watch the game and cheer the games on or whatever. And when did Christian Walker turn into fucking Don Mattingly? Like, everybody's talking about, oh my God, how do we not sign him? He's so good. He's good, but come on now. Let's you know what I'm saying? Pump the brakes. Paul Goldschmidt will hold it down for 1 year. We're a better team now. But I mean, Houston's always gonna be a threat. They got good pitching. I don't know what they're gonna do with Bregman because he wants more than 6 years, and Houston just does not give out long-term contracts like that. So
Unless it was Altuve's the only one, you know what I mean?
Right, right. And he's a Hall of Fame player that, you know what I'm saying, is always going to be a good hitter. And, you know what I'm saying? So I get it. But they had to make a move, you know, after they traded Kyle Tucker. So good for Houston. I'm sure they're going to probably battle with Texas for that division and probably win the West like they always do.
All right. Real quick, record 9 MLB teams were over the luxury tax threshold. And somehow my fucking Cubs, who are in this fucking midst of like a rebuild / with the Cubs, it aggravates me. It's like it's like we make a move, it looks like we're all in, then we fucking trade like a Cody Bellinger on a salary dump, and it's like 2 steps back. Like, what the fuck are we doing? And somehow we were part of that. We were the least of the 9 teams to be taxed, but it says the result of record $300 million paid in penalties, led by obviously the Dodgers, Mets, and then there's
Yankees.
Yeah, the Yankees are part of that. Phillies, Braves, Rangers, Astros, Giants. So it seems like, you know, the goddamn Cubs, like, what the fuck are we doing? Which brings me to our next point, Johnny. We said we'd kind of give our teams, or maybe just baseball in general. We'll do 2 things. If you could give Cole to somebody in baseball, it could be on your team or just in baseball in general, who would you give Cole to? And then give a gift to either baseball or your team.
All right. I'll start off with the Cole. Okay. And I'm going to give it to him more for what just happened this last season, which happened the last few seasons. And I know it's not all on him, but I'm giving Cole to Aaron Boone, the manager of the New York Yankees. Some of the moves that he made completely boggle my mind. And I know that a lot of it is analytics and the front office and shit, but you know, when you got your ace pitcher, I'm still going to go back to game 1. Yes, I fucking am. Game 1 of the World Series, you got your $300 million, starting pitcher out there, your horse, and he's dominating for 6 innings, and you take him out because of fucking analytics. Like, that shit drives me nuts, bro. And again, fundamentals and bad defense like costed us, and that was something that was an issue all season long, and it was never addressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, make them take more, you know what I'm saying, fielding practice during the week, or what, you know what I'm saying, something. Change it up or something. But they were so heavy on analytics, which again is a partly why I'm appreciating what Brian Cashman is doing, is because they're going against everything that they had previously done. You know what I'm saying? Because they were previously all about power arms, and that's all that mattered. Now they're about guys that can strike out people, not just with power arms. So I like the pivot there. I like the athleticism that they're going after with Cody Bellinger and the trade for Jazz and stuff like that. So they're trying to get more athletic, more defensive, and better pitching. So I'm glad that they pivoted for that. But the Cole definitely goes to Aaron Boone.
I'm going to give I'll give my Cole, and then we'll give our gifts out. All right. My Cole, I'm going to give it to Rob Manfred and really just baseball, the writers in general. It's time to let these guys in the Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, they all deserve in the Hall of Fame. I mean, Bonds is one of the greatest baseball players in history. I don't care. Like, everybody was using steroids at the time. You know what? And you know what? You didn't care when people came back in '98 for the home race, and people came back to the ballparks and the money that these guys drove in. You didn't care then that they were using steroids. Big Mike saying, open the damn doors.
Absolutely.
And I don't care if you put on their damn plaque, this person's alleged to be.
I was about to say, you can even have, I don't know.
Put it in a fucking wing. Just have a building.
I was about to say, I don't know. I was going to say, I don't know if you want to make a wing with it, you know what I'm saying? But you can put it on all of their plaques, you know what I'm saying? Yes. At the very bottom, put a little fucking asterisk, you know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm with Mike. Put a little asterisk there, but these people were part of baseball history. You cannot talk about the history of baseball and not talk about Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, you know what I'm saying, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa. Like, that's what the Hall of Fame is. You know what I'm saying? Yep. That's the history of baseball. You cannot discuss that without mentioning these guys. A-Rod needs to be in there eventually. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. You can't pick and choose because you like Big Boppy. You're gonna go ahead and turn a blind eye to the fact that his name was on the same fucking list as Alex Rodriguez. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't go from Minnesota batting $1.50 and can't play no kind of defense to all of a sudden you go to Boston with Manny Ramirez, who was another one that was alleged, you know what I'm saying, that needs to be in the Hall of Fame or whatever, and then all of a sudden you're the best left-handed hitter ever. You know what I'm saying? So stop it. You know what I'm saying? Writers, you can't pick and choose because you like people. It's not the Hall of who I like. It's the Hall of fucking Fame. So put these people up in there.
Pete Rose, get his ass in too. He deserves it.
Man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, again, that's another one. And I know that's the biggest rule is no gambling, but you could have put that shit on his plaque as well. You know what I'm saying? But again, the most hit, the hit king, and you don't have them in there. Come on, man. Like let's get over ourselves and let's stop acting like baseball is fucking church. It's not. Yeah. It's a game. You know what I'm saying? Put the asterisk on it, put it on their plaque, make a fucking wing if you want to make a wing of the steroid era. But you know what I'm saying? Like they need to be in there, so I'm with you, bro.
Yeah, I agree with that, Mike. Pete Rose as a player should not be in
absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
So and real quick, it is a Christmas miracle. Sammy Sosa he didn't really allege that he used steroids. He just said, I made some mistakes out there.
Right. Made some bad choices.
Yes, that's all he said. And the Cubs said, all right, well, that's good enough. That's his apology. They have now welcomed Sammy back into the family. He's coming to the Cubs convention. I'm sure there'll be a retirement number, a first pitch thrown. Sammy's back in the fold. Hopefully all is well. Now, I just hope this is not the sidetrack. I think they did that shit to sidetrack us at the fact that they traded Cody Bellinger for absolute broken soda machine. But you know what? It felt good. It felt good for a Christmas miracle. What would be your gift to baseball or to the Yankees if you could give them something?
Well, I mean, right on the flip of the coin that you just mentioned, the gift would be allowing these players in there. But as far as the Yankees in particular, man, I like the moves that just stop being so fucking analytical. You know what I'm saying? Analytics is a good thing to use as a part of the process. You know what I'm saying? But you can't live and die by only analytics. You know what I'm saying? Use it as a tool just like you do every other thing. Because you know what? Stats have been around forever. Teams have always used stats in their stuff. Now they've grinded it to a fine powder of all these different, you know what I'm saying, categories and stuff for stats. But I was just about to say that, Mike. Thank you very much. That's the other thing. I love the Yankees, and thank you, George Steinbrenner, for buying the team from CBS and putting them back on the map and having some structure or whatever. Let these grown ass men have some facial hair, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to put it to where no crazy shit, you know what I'm saying? No fucking beards down to your chest. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be nicely groomed and look good.
No Johnny Damon.
Yeah, no Johnny Damon crazy shit. But yes, you can have facial hair, but it has to be maintained and it has to look sharp. Let these grown men, you know what I'm saying, show their personalities and stuff like that. You notice how every Yankee player in the offseason is growing a beard. You know what I'm saying? So let's kind of loosen up with that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let these guys be their individual selves. So yes, I'm with Mike on that one. That was the next thing I was going to say is let these grown men have some facial hair. You know what I'm saying? Again, if you want to put it to where it has to look good and be groomed and look, you know what I'm saying, look sharp, fine. Nice trimmed beard, goatee or set, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But let these grown men have some facial hair, man. Let's loosen up on that a little bit, bro. It's 2025. It's not, George did that in the 70s.
He's been dead for what, 10 years too? Right?
Yeah. And I get how wanting to keep the tradition of his dad or whatever, but this is where you can kind of make it your own. And there's gonna be, I'm sure there's a lot of fucking old school Yankee fans that are fucking losing their minds right now. But get over it, bro. Get over it. You know what I'm saying? Again, like I said, if it's nicely maintained and it looks good, let them have it. Not no old wild crazy shit, but let these grown men have some facial hair, man. It's all good.
Yeah, Craig kind of hit the. So he says, "Give the gift gift the Cubs a damn bullpen, Santa, please." My gift would be to the Cubs a set of balls, and I mean, I'm talking not talking about baseball. A set of balls to Jed Hoyer and Tom Ricketts, and be like, "Hey, start operating this motherfucking thing like you're a big league a big market fucking team." We didn't. You know what? We could have paid Cody Bellinger and still went and paid somebody else because we're a big market fucking team. Okay. I promise you, when we're fucking sub 500, the Wrigley Field is still fucking packed. All right. So when we fucking start winning, remember in 16, how fucking packed we were and how great that felt? Yeah, that's because we need to operate like that again. Operate like you're a big market fucking team. Operate like you're the third biggest market in the United States in Chicago. If you want to say, hey, I get not spending like the Dodgers or the Mets, that's a little bit too crazy. But Jesus, give them some fucking balls and start acting and operating like you're a fucking big market team, like you're the Chicago damn Cubs, and go spend some fucking money.
I'm with you on that one, man. Like I know I heard some stuff where Cody Bellinger was basically telling them that he wanted out. You know what I'm saying? So I get that, but at the same time, you have him under contract, so you didn't have to trade him.
Wait, he opted into this contract. He could have opted out. So I don't really know. I'm not too sure.
He had an opt out after every year?
He had to opt out after this year.
Well, because he has an opt out next year as well.
Yeah, he had to opt out. Yeah.
Right. So, but that's again, so who knows if he was really, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, his dad played for the Yankees, so there was always rumor that he wanted to be a Yankee or whatever. But you just made a trade for a top 10 player because that kid you got, Tucker, that kid is a dude. He's a stud. You're going to love watching him play. So imagine him in the outfield with Cody. Like, and then don't you got a good kid, the left fielder too.
Ian Happ. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So that fucking outfield was gonna be like legit. You know what I'm saying? Throw a little cash on it and go get Burns. All of a sudden, you got a number one starter. You got one of the best outfields in baseball, and you're competing for that fucking Central. Like
Central's wide open. I mean, everybody's.
I don't. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that they said, oh well, they did that because they're gonna try to extend Tucker, and he's down to try to extend as long as the numbers right. You know what I'm saying? Like he's saying all the right. He's saying all the right things or whatever, that he's open to negotiations. Yeah. If they come at him and throw, because he's only 27, 28 years old or something like that. But if they come to him with a 12-year, 500 or something, whatever, I'm sure he'll ink that shit. And then you got one of the best players in baseball playing for you for the next 10, 12 years. But is your owner willing to do some shit like that?
Yeah,
because if he lets him go to the free agent market, you ain't getting him back. You're not. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because this kid, Steve Cohen in fucking Queens, he's gonna buy everybody. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna be going after him. He's gonna be going after Vlad. You know what I'm saying? So he's that's where
put a whole all-star team together.
Yeah, he is, and he's got the money to do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the shit. If you got an opportunity to extend him, but they could have kept Bellinger, and you would have had one of the best outfields in all of baseball, man. So
yeah. Let's move to the NBA real quick. I just the Bucks won the cup. I mean, here at the Bodkins show,
yay, Bucks!
Give two shits about that. But I just want to keep the Christmas theme going here, so I'll just ask you. I know you're. I like to call you Mr. New York Nick.
Right.
But if you could, let's give our Coles out for the NBA real fast. If you could give Cole to the NBA. Who it could be the NBA league or maybe the Knicks. Who would you give it to?
All right. Well, since he just came out and said something yesterday, I'm gonna give the big ass piece of coal to LeBron James. And the reason I'm giving it to LeBron James is because, of course, he jumps on this whole narrative that the reason that the ratings are going down is because of 3-pointers. Well, bro, you're part of that. And you don't want to admit that the fact that the ratings are going down is ever since you became the face of the NBA. That's the truth. You know what I'm saying? That was a backhanded slap at Steph Curry with him saying too many 3-pointers. You know what I'm saying? Yes, there are too many 3-pointers, and that's why the basketball is fairly unwatchable for the most part. You know what I'm saying?
Analytics have ruined a lot of
for the Houston Rockets and Orlando Magic and all these teams to be shooting 50 fucking 3-pointers in a game is absolutely ridiculous. But you know what, LeBron James? I see you taking logo threes like if you're actually a good shooter when you're not. You know what I'm saying? So you're part of that problem. So for him to try to jump on the narrative now and say, oh, there's too many threes, you know what I'm saying? Yes, that is part of the problem because, you know what I'm saying, we want to see people battling down low. We want to see people get dunked on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what made the NBA exciting. We want to see more physical play down low. Now, you know what I'm saying, they go on fast breaks and motherfuckers is running to the corners instead of going to the basket to get an easy layup. You know what I'm saying? So that guys that can't shoot think they can shoot, and that's what's caused the problem that it is. But my call goes to LeBron James because, of course, he jumps on it at the end to try to say, oh, yeah, 3-pointers are a big part of the decline. That's part of it, but it's also your bullshit flopping ass that has given us a generation of a bunch of flopping ass, soft ass players that want to be load managed, don't want to play, want to team up with their buddies on all these teams. Like that's part of it too, bro. It's not just the 3-pointers. It's the whole fucking era of this, you know, buddy teaming up and, you know, flopping and all this bullshit. That's what's made this league terrible is you, bro.
I'm gonna second that. I'm gonna give my call though to Adam Silver.
Yeah, that's his partner in crime. That's the tag team right there. LeBron and fucking Adam Silver.
Adam Silver, who has pretty much given the league to the players. It's awful. The NBA is unwatchable. It really is. It is. It's partly because you got old heads like me and you who are like, this game is not the game we grew up like watching and playing, like not the NBA, right? Like the physicality, the fun. And kids younger, the generation younger than this, they don't watch shit. They don't watch TV at all. These motherfuckers think, you know, my son does not sit down and watch a real basketball game. He watches 30 seconds of clips. That's how, you know what I mean? That's just how that generation takes in games. Like they rather watch, you know, highlights or clips, you know, on TikTok or whatever. Right. They don't really sit down and watch the game. And the game is fucking awful, and part of it's Adam Silver's fault. So and
again, the lack of they don't care about the fans.
All of it's been dog shit. So yeah.
I mean, a lot of these regular season games look like fucking all-star games. There ain't no defense being played, and it's a bunch of fucking non-shooters taking a bunch of threes. Like it was, like
2-3.
Right. When Steph Curry and you know the Splash Brothers were first on the scene, it was like, holy shit, these guys, because they could actually shoot. So it was like, oh, seeing them shooting these threes from fucking deep was like, oh man, that's cool as hell. But now everybody and their mother think they could do the same thing, and they can't, and it's no fun. And again, the lack of defense is embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? And like again, it could be we old heads or whatever, but like I want to see some low post battles up there. I want to see some high flying. Yeah, I want to see some high flyers. That's why when Anthony Edwards or some of them do those big ass dunks, like we all get excited about it because that's entertaining. Not a bunch of fucking guys shooting logo threes that ain't got no business shooting those 3-pointers.
Amen, Mike. Amen.
Bro, if those guys were in the league today, they would be so fucking dominant right now because ain't nobody stopping them. Ain't nobody getting in front of Sean Kemp. You know what I'm saying? That's what Akeem Olajuwon would absolutely destroy Joel Embiid and all this. And that's the other part is that you know they want to talk about this generation is the most skilled generation. And yes, they're very skilled and talented, but they're soft as shit. You know what I'm saying? And they're load management. They don't care about the fans because you know what I'm saying? Like the guys back in the day, they took pride in playing every game. You know what I'm saying? And you know, again, I'm not going to get into the GOAT debate because there is no debate. Michael Jordan is the greatest ever, but his mindset
on this show. There's no debate. Right. You want to debate
his mindset, and Kobe was the same way. His mindset was that little kid or that family is paying money to come see Michael Jordan play. So I'm going to give 110% to make sure that they are happy and entertained. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. These players don't give a shit about the fans nowadays. They don't want to play. You know what I'm saying? They want to play bare minimum. They're making so much money and they want to play bare minimum. The fact that they got all upset about having to play 65 games to win an award, like it's your fucking job, bro. And you get paid $40, $50 million.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they're soft, bro. They're just soft, and you know, people used to say, "Oh, basketball is not a physical game." Yes, basketball is a physical game. Not this version of basketball, and that's the problem. It's just it's not aesthetically pleasing, bro. It's not fun to watch.
It's not. If you could give a gift to the NBA or maybe the Knicks, what gift would you like say?
Well, I mean, the NBA and the Knicks, they need another big. They need an imposing defender down low. I like Cat and the way he's played, and they've actually, like, I don't know what the hell, but they got Cat playing defense, and he's always been a good rebounder. But they got him.
Tom Thibodeau, you can't play with Tom
Right.
Tom Thibodeau not play defense. He don't care who you are. You ain't gonna play defense. You ain't gonna play.
Absolutely, but if they can get, I mean, I know there's hope that Mitchell Robinson can come back healthy. So if I had to give them something, I would give them a healthy remainder of the season for Mitchell Robinson.
Okay.
A health for, you know what I'm saying? If he can stay healthy and you can play Cat at the 4 sometimes, I think defensively they'll be one of the best teams. Merry Christmas, bro. Have a good one. Be safe out there, man. But yeah, I would give them a big man as far as the whole NBA. Yes, more big men that actually want to play with their back to the basket and do post moves and play more aggressive down low. That would be my gift to the NBA. I wish we had more of that. That's why I love the Joker, bro. The Joker is fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna give my gift for the Chicago Bulls would be a new owner. It's time to get rid of Jerry Reinsdorf. Jerry's never gonna. The Bulls are never gonna be any damn good again. We were only good because we had the generational player that is Michael Jordan. And outside of that, you take away the years that we had Jordan, what have we? We had another good run with another generational talent in Derrick Rose, and unfortunately, his body failed him. But Jerry Reinsdorf has failed us in the Bulls. Like, he just does this. He even has said, if I can just stay around the bubble, we'll be okay, because that'll keep fans coming in. We still have sellouts because fans want to watch, but we're never going to really, he doesn't really want to win it. He doesn't care if we win an NBA championship. And that's the whole
bad. That's fucking sad.
And you see what the White Sox is with the White Sox. So,
oh my God.
I mean, I would get rid of Jerry, and I would do the White Sox a favor too. Like, he can sell both teams. I'm not even a White Sox fan. Obviously, I'm a Cubs fan through and through. But, I would just, to help out my South Side, the Southsiders as well. Like, we could just all get rid of Jerry Reinsdorf as a Bulls owner and a White Sox owner. So, that would be my gift. Somebody, a real owner who's who wants to win and compete. Again, in the third, really the third biggest market in the United States, and the brand that is the Bulls. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's really still, like, it's been 30, almost 40 years since the Bulls were any really, you know what I mean? But like, we had that run with Rose, but like, the brand was still good. And when the Bulls are good, you know what I mean? Like, the NBA seems to be better, for the most part. Like, it's just one of them teams, but man, that's
a good one. Yeah, get a new ownership would probably help out. Yeah, especially if he has that mindset that he ain't worried about winning. That sucks.
Yeah, we'll keep we didn't do a review on the music and stuff, so we'll go to the NBA and then we'll do our top 5, our NFL real quick. Yesterday, I'm gonna go ahead and give my coal while it's out. First, I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna give my coal to Roger Goodell. Really, just for fucking lying to us. Stop fucking lying, will you? Don't tell me that you care about player safety when you got 4 teams playing 3 games in 11 days. What the fuck are we doing? Just say, hey, we don't really care about player safety. We care about money. Right. Like, we all know that, but you just because you're lying to the people, Raj. Stop lying to us. Stop lying to the players. 3 games in 12 days or in 11 days for the likes of the Chiefs, the Steelers, the Ravens. I think the Texans as well. Like, all 4 teams that played yesterday, they're playing 3 games in 11 days because they all play on Thanksgiving again. Like, it's just it's ridiculous. are not. They shouldn't. I don't really care to have games on Christmas on a Wednesday. If it was a Thursday, yeah, you can have the Thursday night game, but we didn't need the games on Wednesday. I usually give that day to the NBA, and I'm okay with it. But I know Netflix came in with a fat check. NFL said, okay, but God dang it, don't tell me you care about player safety. So Roger Goodell gets my coal.
Yeah, I second that one there. I agree with you on that one. That's just horrific. The fact that they're doing that, and they basically just bitch slapped the NBA and said, "Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take Christmas from you, because you ain't worthy of Christmas anyway, because your product sucks."
Yeah.
So they just deboed Christmas from the NBA. But my call is gonna go to the NFL officiating. It's fucking horrendous. It's outrageous. A lot of these missed calls, and I know that Patrick Mahomes is a generational talent. He is so much fun to watch. But can we stop fucking protecting him to the point where, like, you got to make sure that he doesn't have a fumble, doesn't have an interception, and that the Chiefs don't come close to losing? Like, for fuck's sake, bro. Like, he's already that good. The team is already that good. They don't need the officiating to make sure to give them every benefit of the doubt call. Like, some of the stuff is just egregious for what they allow Kansas City to do, or the penalties that go against or for Kansas City. Like, it's becoming extremely blatant on how they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? I understand you're protecting all the quarterbacks, but he gets protected so much more, and the Chiefs do as well. I'm not one to try to say that's the only reason, because I'm saying the kid is phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love watching Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback. He's the best quarterback on the planet right now. You know what I'm saying? Josh Allen's got some argument to say as far as ability or whatever, but Patrick Mahomes is that good. The Chiefs are that good. They don't need your fucking help, referees. Do your fucking job. You know what I'm saying? Make the calls properly, regardless of, you know what I'm saying, the logo on the helmet. Just make the right calls. So many face masks are being missed. Like, guys are getting their necks turned and they're not calling face mask. And then even the officiating was like, oh, it looked more like he grabbed his face mask with his forearm. How the fuck do you grab a face mask with your forearm? You know what I'm saying? And you know what? The forearm is connected to the wrist, that's connected to the hand that's right there on the damn face mask as well. So a face mask is a face mask, bro. Like, stop trying to defend the shit. But officiating all around the league gets my big ass piece of coal for Christmas.
We'll go. What's your gift? I'm sure you got a gift you want to give. A
gift to my Miami Dolphins. How about a fucking spine? How about a backbone? You know what I'm saying? Can we get some fucking dogs on this team? Can we get a GM that are tough, hard-nosed football players? You know what I'm saying? It's nice to have good. Obviously, you want good character people in your building. You want good character guys to represent your organization. But can we get some fucking dogs? Can we get some people that want to dominate the people that they're going up against, and not just worry about technique and speed and fun? You know, fuck that. I want somebody that's just gonna beat the shit out of the guy across from them. And we don't have any of those, because we got a soft ass coach and we got a soft ass GM. So my Christmas gift for the Miami Dolphins would be a fucking spine. So Stephen Ross, do what you got to do. Go get Mike Vrabel. Go get the assistant GM from Kansas City or Pittsburgh or Baltimore or Philly. One of those organizations that actually know what the fuck they're doing, so that we can possibly get out of this horrible hole that we've been in for the last 25 fucking years. Because it's pathetic and it's making it hard to be a Miami Dolphin fan. For real. Like, I'm sick of having to apologize to my son for damning him and making him a Dolphin fan, because he has to suffer through this shit just as much as I do. So a backbone and some toughness, a spine for the Miami Dolphins would be my gift.
Woo! Well, I mean, you already got Jesus, the left, or you already got God, right? Left arm of God.
Shit. I'm bro. Like, that's a whole other tangent right there. Depending on what happens today, yeah, somebody might be getting a big ass turd. You know what I'm saying, today for the recap show.
My gift to the Packers would be just a very stud pass rusher. Like
Yeah.
like a TJ Watt, a Max Crosby. Like I feel like we miss, like we got some really good ones, but like just like a generational pass rusher
Mhm.
that we have not had pretty much since maybe Reggie White. You
I
know
was
what I
about to say
mean?
Reggie was probably the last one.
Like yeah. I mean, we had some generational guys on the back end, obviously Charles Woodson and things like
Yeah.
that. But like just a absolute generational pass rusher, a guy where you're like, no, we can't. You know what I mean? Like two dudes,
Yeah.
we got to double team him every fucking time because
Right.
if we don't, he will kill us. So
Yeah. Like that's somebody. If I'm the Packers, and I'm with you because you guys got so much young talent all over. Again, get the fucking assistant GM from Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? For fuck's sake, people that know what the hell they're doing. But somebody that like, if I'm your GM, bro, like depending on how this season goes out, or whatever, regardless, I'm calling Cleveland, bro, and I'm like, what do you want for Myles Garrett? You put Myles Garrett on that defensive line with your secondary and stuff like that, because he's going to be the only one making big time money. Him and Love. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is a bunch of young guys on young contracts, so you can afford to pay Myles Garrett whatever, bro. But you put that stud on your defensive line, oof. I'm with you on that one. That's a good one.
Yeah. Real quick, is there any game that you're looking at? Personally, I'm gonna just peek at the Falcons Giants because I want to see Michael Penix Jr. in his first start. You know, Kirk Cousins. We talked about it on Thursday's show. Kirk Cousins, man, a lot of money. They're going to eat a lot of money, and told him to sit down, and rightfully so because his play is stunk, and they're going to miss the playoffs if they didn't make, you know, if he didn't turn it around or they make the change. So to me, I'm interested in that. Really, the Vikings Seahawks game, I'll probably keep an eye on just for divisional purposes. But there's not really any like marquee games. The Eagles Commanders, I guess, you know, has some playoff implications. But what about you? Is there any game that you're gonna, you know, I'm pretty much me watching Red Zone as the Packers played Monday night, but you know, that you're kind of be keyed on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that one. My bullshit ass team doesn't play till 4:00, so I'm going to be watching Red Zone for the 1:00 ones. But I think the only marquee one, honestly, on here, because it's a bunch of crap, to be completely honest. And I know some Dolphin fans are going to be watching specific games for their 2% chance of making the fucking playoffs or whatever the hell it is. But that Philly Washington game, I'm anxious to see. I'm anxious to see Daniels and that young up and coming Washington team at home. You know, a chance to get one step closer to clinching a playoff spot.
Make it a game.
Against your division rival who's won a bunch of games in a row. Philly's been slapping people the last few weeks too. Like, you're at home, represent at home, make it a competitive game. I think they can win this game. I mean, I picked Philly because it's only 3.5, but I would love to see Washington pull out the upset here at home. And Philly's a really good team. There's so much talent all over the field on that one. But come on, you know what I'm saying? I want to see Daniels pull some tricks up and just play a good game, man. Play a good game, and they'll have a chance to win that game. But that's the only one that like is of significance that looks like it could be a good game. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah. The Lions. It's like depending on what happens to that game, like the Lions. I think the Lions should be.
I mean, do the Bears even show the fuck up? Like, we don't even know, bro. Like, I was expecting them after they fired this kid that maybe, you know, how we've talked about the first week after they fired the head coach, they're inspired and shit. Nah, bro, they did not want to be on that field, bro, and they just got their asses beat. Yeah. So I expect the same thing, honestly. I think Detroit, especially after Detroit losing to Buffalo, they're gonna want to.
It's going through.
Yeah, they are.
So
they are, but they can put up points. And Caleb Williams, like, this isn't college, bro. Like, you need to stand in that pocket. You need to make your reads, and when that you need to make the throws, man. There's guys open, and like
sometimes it's not even that, Johnny. It's the the body language, like on and off.
Oh my god, it's horrible, bro. I hate his body language, bro.
Dude, I do too. And I try to tell my son that I try to talk to him about his body language playing basketball. I'm like, son, like your body language, like body language.
You always have to have that mentality, like nothing's wrong, bro. You need like nothing phases you, bro. That psychologically, not only does it help your team, especially if you're one of the leaders, but that also lets the other team know that they ain't phasing you. You know what I'm saying? But if
you're
you're
out here-
constantly acting like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. Like, come on, bro. Grow the fuck up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Yeah.
Like, do we need to call your mom and tell her to come down here and give you a fucking hug on the sideline, bro? Like, come on, man. Stop that shit, bro.
Yeah.
But I never liked, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather have fired up guys that get pissed off and angry and whatever, but
Yeah, you never saw Tom Brady. Like, you see Tom Brady cussing his teammates out. You never saw him on the fucking sideline like, woe is me type shit.
Right,
You know what
right.
I mean?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The worst you saw Tom Brady is he'd be sitting with his head down, like you could tell that he's just fuming. You know what I'm saying? But not this, oh, pity me. This is so terrible. Oh my God. Stop, man. Man up.
Yeah. Agreed. But that I was just saying, like the Lions, like, man, like Dan Campbell just goes on this fucking radio. And I don't know if you've heard it, but man, he just fucking just goes on and like about how much he still believes in this team, like even throughout the injuries and like, yo, bro, like you're ready to run through a brick wall.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah. I mean, like,
dude, that's the same dude that was the interim coach for my Dolphins, whatever, 7, 8, 9 years ago, whatever it was. I mean, he wasn't ready to be a head coach at that time, but this is the mentality that he had, was toughness, grittiness. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he took over as interim coach for the Dolphins, and the very next practice, he had them running Oklahoma drills. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't fucking around. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are going to be tough whether you like it or not, and if you're not tough enough, you're not going to be on the team. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you need in football. So I like that. He needs to get a little smarter with some of the chances that he takes, and I hope that he gets over that hump. You know what I'm saying? I hope this isn't a situation where he makes a decision or two that kind of costs him a playoff game, and then it winds up costing him his job if he does it again in another year. You know what I'm saying? So I hope he kind of tweaks his, you know what I'm saying, aggressiveness. You know what I'm saying? You still want to be who you are and be aggressive, but there's times that, bro, just punt the ball. You know what I'm saying? Or just kick the field goal, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, you can have faith in your team or whatever, but you still got to be a little smarter with that. Hopefully he gets better with that. Because I'd love to see Detroit, you know what I'm saying, actually do something. I want him to be successful. You know what I'm saying? But I love his temperament, bro. I would have wanted to play for him. I would have wanted to play for him.
Even as like my team's a division rival, like I root, like Dan Campbell's the guy I want to root for.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Like
absolutely.
he is the guy I want to root for. Let's get into our top 5 best Christmas songs. What you got at number 5?
All right, and this is one of those where this is the part of Christmas where I'm with you, where it's like, you know what I'm saying, Christmas music, whatever, especially when they start playing that shit like the day after Halloween. It's like, what the fuck, bro? Yeah. But my number 5 is Santa Claus is Coming to Town. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just go with
I like the Michael Jackson version, the Jackson 5.
Yes, yep. That's probably the best version in my opinion, but that could just be biased or whatever. And say what you want to say about Michael Jackson, he's still Mike. That's still Michael. You know what I'm saying? He was phenomenal. But yeah, Santa Claus is Coming to Town is my number 5. Right.
Yeah. My number 5, my list is probably going to be a little off the wall, but my number 5, I kept it traditional on this one. Silent Night. You know, I'm for some reason I'm a sucker for it. Yeah, maybe it's because like I remember going as a kid to church with my grandparents and watching like the Christmas thing. And that was always like the last song, and you know, that number 5 is that's my number 5 is Silent Night.
Yeah, that's actually my number 4. You know what I'm saying? I had to throw in a couple of like more.
Yeah,
and angelic type, you know what I'm saying, traditional. I'm with you on that one, you know what I'm saying, because it is, you know what I'm saying, it is, Christmas is not about the jolly fat man that comes down your chimney in all reality, people, you know what I'm saying. But I did have to throw Santa Claus at number 5, but yeah, number 4. So I like those hit me, like I feel those, you know what I'm saying. And I'm with you, like when I was a kid, with my grandmother going to church and stuff like that. So those like I get the goosebumps and like I feel those in my heart and stuff like that. So yeah, that's definitely, I'm with you on that one. That was my number 4.
Yeah, my number 4 is, I don't even know the fucking name of it, but you know what it is. I don't fucking know the name of it.
Oh shit!
No,
Wait.
no fucking words. It's just that fucking what's it?
It's just that tune. I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't know the name of it.
Yeah, like I would probably have to ask Jen because I can't even think of it right now. But I'm with you on that. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's number 4. Number 4.
All right. All right. My number 3 is and I know I'm gonna piss a bunch of people off, including my wife. But I like this version of Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You." So that is number 3 on my list. Hey, I didn't make it number 1, babe. So you'll say, but I like listening. You'll say I like Mariah. She's got a great voice, and it's a catchy tune. They overplay it. Not gonna front that. Yeah. But you know what? Those checks that she's getting her pockets are just gonna be forever full with that song right there. Yeah. But it's catchy. Again, it's overplayed a little bit, but I got that one at number 3.
My number 3 is "Christmas in Hollis" by Run DMC.
Oh, nice. I had it written down over here too, and I was like, well, no, but damn, I should have put that on the list. That's a good one, bro.
Yeah. Gotta have "Christmas in Hollis" by Run DMC. So that's my number 3. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree."
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That gives me Home Alone vibes every time I hear it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm going with "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree" at number 2.
Okay. My number 2, and maybe because I used to sing it a lot when I was a kid, is the 25 Days of Redneck Christmas, or 12 Days of Redneck Christmas by Jeff Foxworthy. So nice. that is my number 2.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So
my number 1, again, traditional stuff. My number 1 is "Oh Holy Night." Is my number 1. You know what I'm saying? Again, that's just stuff, those types of songs, like, I feel those in my heart, get the goosebumps and all that stuff. So yeah, that's gonna be my number 1. I'm so mad I didn't put fucking "Christmas in Hollis" on my damn list. I'm so disappointed in myself.
Jeremy said "Christmas in Hollis." "Baby It's Cold Outside" is number 1 for me. My number 1, and technically,
"Baby It's Cold Outside" is a good song, but if you actually listen to the words, that's a little rapey there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was not letting homegirl leave, bro. She was trying to get out, and he was like, "Nah, you ain't going nowhere. Here, drink some more of this. Drink some more of this."
Technically, it's not a Christmas song, technically. Right. But my number 1 song around, I guess, like to tune it in, is none other than the Hanukkah song by Adam Sandler.
Damn, I didn't even think about out the box like that. That I love that, dude. What? The Hanukkah song by Adam Sandler. Oh, yeah. That's fucking amazing. Like, I love that. Like, Adam Sandler is always gonna get props for that shit right there, bro.
Yeah, and this is how, like, so I was in drama in high school, and during our Christmas play, during like the intermission, I got to kind of sing the Hanukkah song.
Nice.
So and like, people, like, this lady had never heard of it, and she was like dying laughing. She thought it was the funniest thing she ever heard in her life.
Yeah. It's great, bro. Like, I'm gonna listen to that bitch as soon as we get done. I haven't heard it in a minute either, so I'm and I think the one you were talking about before was the Nutcracker. Is the one that you're talking about, where it's just all that that is Nutcracker. Yes, my wife is nodding her head. Oh, what is it? Carol the Bells is the one you're talking about.
Bells. Okay. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Yeah, there's no words. It's just more just instrumental.
I think this is it. Here, let's try it out.
There's words in Carol the Bells.
Yes. Yeah.
It's in Home Alone when he's running back
to the house. There's words to it. Yeah.
It's in Home Alone.
Yeah, like, that's just I'm getting goosebumps right now. Like, see, songs like that, bro. Like, I feel those. Christmas.
Yeah, and you could do the rock. There's like a little rocker version of it. Yeah.
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 But I love the two you threw in there with you know what I'm saying, Christmas in Hollis, and then Adam Sandler's Hanukkah song. Like that's a really badass top 5. Good shit, bro.
Yeah, so Jeremy says, "Baby, it's cold outside." The Hanukkah song, "Christmas in Hollis," "Oh Holy Night," "Little Drummer Boy." Yeah, that's a good. I like Little Drummer Boy too.
Yes.
My gift to bring him.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm good with the. Shout out to Grandma got ran over by a reindeer as well.
That's true. That's a badass list, Jeremy. Well done, bro. That's a good list, bro.
Yeah, I like it. A couple of those too.
Again, I don't like the fact that it starts on November 1st. You know what I'm saying? At some of these radio stations, as far as the Christmas music, but like you know, saying that helps me get into the spirit of Christmas. Actually, listening to the music, you know, what I'm saying, especially like again the more old school, you know, old fashioned like music and stuff like that. Because those bring me back to when I was a kid and stuff like that. Because when you get older and you have kids and you're doing everything to take care of them, like you don't have time to like really sit down and enjoy that type of shit. You may have that little bit of time on Christmas Day or whatever, or Christmas Eve or whatever, but all the time leading up to it, you're just stressing out trying to make sure that you got everything taken care of or whatever. But the music is a good one. I'm glad we did the list and stuff like here, because I'm gonna listen to some of this stuff today.
So he's got Jeremy's got Midnight on Halloween. Boom, Christmas.
right. You know what I'm saying? Right after you hand out the last piece of candy, it's like, all right, turn on that Christmas music.
Yeah. Can't even get in Thanksgiving, most disrespected holiday.
What's up?
No. Why is that? Do you know why they call it? Nah. Tell us, Jeremy. I had no idea. Do they call it Xmas and not Christmas because they don't believe in Jesus? I don't know. Happy holidays. I don't know. Well,
right. Oh man, what's the answer, Jeremy?
Yeah. Waiting for the answer. We're literally about to wrap it up, and we're waiting for your answer. Maybe you'll get to Johnny. You got any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Nah, man. Just Merry Christmas to everybody out there. You know what I'm saying? Be safe out there. Enjoy it. Again, I know that it's been marketed and whatever, but it's about being with your family and your loved ones or whatever, and you know, be happy with the ones. Give everybody that you love around you a big hug. Call the people you haven't spoken to in a minute and just let them know what's up and that you're thinking about them or whatever. You hope they're okay. But have a great Christmas. Enjoy your Sundays. Hope everybody got everything done that they needed to get done. Alejandro, I'll show it next week for you, bro. So you can look at my face. But now, Merry Christmas, everybody. Kendall Sports Network tomorrow night, 7:30. Dolphin Chronicles. We'll probably be bitching and moaning about another Dolphin loss, but you can check out me, Alex, and Byron on Kendall Sports Network. Check us out.
Yeah, we'll be back tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. We'll recap NFL week 16, I believe. So other than that, like Johnny said, Merry Christmas, everybody. We'll be back next week, same time, 8 o'clock a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Eastern. We'll do our top 5 movies that we've seen of the year, and I'll put the albums that I've listened to of the year 2024 as we wrap up 2024 to get into 2025. So, man, where did the year go?
Yeah, there's a lot of shit happened, but it did go by pretty quick.
It did.
Jeremy did give us our answer. Did you throw it up there?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
because they were
Christians. It was a penal colony for Great Britain.
Yeah, for Great Britain. So
okay, makes sense.
Yep. So all right. Well, other than that was great. Thanks, Jeremy. We learn every day here on the weekly dump. So
yeah,
be a friend, tell a friend, folks. Like, subscribe, share. We'll see you tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central for a NFL recap show. See you then.
Peace.
Thanks so much for joining us, and until next time, let's talk sport, fans. Thanks for watching.